we're looking at perimeter and area. So perimeter is the distance around a two-dimensional shape. Now perimeter is pretty straightforward. All you have to do is take the lengths of the sides given for a two-dimensional shape, and then you add them up, and that's going to give you the total distance around the shape. Now two-dimensional shapes are flat shapes. There's no thickness in them. You have, for example, the square, the triangle, the rectangle, the circle, parallelogram, rhombus, trapezium, kite, and those are the set that we're going to look at. And area is a measure of the surface enclosed by its boundary. Now, if you have a square, the space, so if you have a rectangle, then the area would be the measure of this surface. It's the part that is enclosed by the boundary. Whereas in this one, if you have x and y, then this is also x and this is also y. So the perimeter would be x plus y plus y. So it's just summing the length of the sides. But since this is common, we're going to be looking at area and the formula and how to solve the various questions. So the first shape we're going to look at is the square, and we're finding the area of these shapes. So the formula to find the area of a square is A is equals to L squared. That means the length multiplied by the length. So here you have an example with a square with one side being 4 centimeters. Well, we know that a square, all four sides are equal. So if this side is 4, then this side is 4, this is 4, and this is 4 as well. But let's use the formula and find the area. So A is equals to L squared, L being the length of one side. A is equals to 4 cm squared. The area would be 4 times 4, which is 16 cm squared. And that is our answer. For the rectangle, the formula for area is length times breadth, or in some cases you would see length times width. The length would be the longest side. The breadth or the width would be the shortest side. Now, let's look at an example. You have a rectangle here with the length being 7 and the breadth being 3. So using the formula, A is equals to length times breadth. A is equals to 7 cm times 3 cm. A is equal to 7 3s, 21 cm square. And always remember that when you're finding area, your unit is always in squared, right? To find the area of a triangle, there are actually 3 different formulas, and in all 3 formulas it's 3 different cases. Now this is the first one, being area is equals to half base times height, where the bottom is the base and we're given a perpendicular height. Perpendicular means when 2 lines come together to form a right angle. So the height could either be given in the middle here, or in some cases it's given on the outside. So if it's inside, it's in the middle, or sometimes it's outside. Always know that the base and this height forms a 90-degree angle. So if your triangle is looking like this and they gave you here as the height, just know that this is the base. Now let's look at an example. So A is equals to half base times height. Looking at our triangle, the base is 4, the height is 3. So A is equals to half of 4 cm multiplied by 3 cm. A is equals to half of 4 3s, 12 cm squared. A is equals to half of 12 is 6 cm squared. So the second formula to find the area of a triangle is called the Heron's formula, or in some cases people would call it the semi-perimeter formula. Now in this one, notice that we're not given any height, but we're given the length of all three sides of the triangle. When we're given the length of all three sides, we could use this formula to find the area. So the first thing we have to find is what is S. So S is equals to A plus B plus C over 2. S is equals to, let's name them, A, B, C. S is equals to 4 cm plus 5 cm plus 3 cm divided by 2. And this would be 12 cm divided by 2, and that's going to give me 6 cm. So my S value is 6 cm. Now when you look at the square root part of it, there is S throughout this formula. So wherever S is, we're going to substitute 6. And where A is, we're going to substitute the length of A, B the length of B, and C the length of C. So let's go and finish off that part. So A is equals to the square root of, we're starting with S, which is, alright, let me write the formula. S into S minus A, S minus B, S minus C. A is equals to the square root of, S is 6, open bracket, 6 cm minus 4 cm, 6 cm minus B, which is 5 cm, and 6 cm minus C, which is 3 cm. Let me extend this out. A is equals to the square root of 6 into 6 minus 4 would give me 2 cm. 6 minus 5 is going to give me 1 cm, and 6 minus 3 is going to give me 3 cm. Now under this square root there's brackets, and brackets means to multiply, so we have to multiply everything in here. So A is equals to the square root of 6 2 is 12, 12 1 is 12, 12 3 is 36. So this is going to give me 36 cm. To the 4th power. So here's supposed to be cm. Anyways, so the area would be the square root of 36, which is going to give me 6 cm square. And this is how you use the Heron's formula to calculate the area of a triangle when you're given the length of all three sides. The trapezium. So the formula to find the area of a trapezium is half of A plus B times H, where A and B are the pair of parallel sides. That would be these two sides, and H again is a perpendicular height. It could either be given inside, or in some cases they put it on the outside. So if it's given outside or inside, just know that this is the perpendicular height. Now here you have an example with the height given as 4, and the two parallel sides are 10 and 7. So let's put this into the formula and work it. So A is equals to a half of A plus B times H. A is equals to a half of 7 cm plus 10 cm multiplied by 4 cm. A is equals to a half of 7 plus 10 is 17 cm times 4 cm. A is equals to a half of 17 times 4, so that would be 68 cm square. So a half of 68 would be 34 cm square. and that's the area of this trapezium. The parallelogram and the rhombus, well, I decided to do these two together because the formula to find the area for the two shapes are the same. Now, area is equals to base times height. That would be the base, and the height is either given inside, the perpendicular height inside, or it could be given outside, right? Now I'm just going to do one example because it's the same thing. Oh, you know what, let's leave it here. Now, with both of these shapes, the opposite sides are parallel, and that means the opposite sides are equal, right? So in this one, I said the base is at the bottom, but if you notice, they give you the length of the top. What this means is that this side and this side is the same length, and same goes for these two. So if up here is 6, then the base is also 6 cm. So area is equals to BH. Area is equals to the base, which is 6 cm, times the height, which is 4 cm. The area is equals to 6 fours, 24 cm square. And that's how you find the area for a parallelogram or a rhombus.